class?
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so for today we're going to have exponential functions. Last time we had linear functions, so for today we're going to have exponential functions. Okay? Now, who among you have received a text message asking you to forward such message to a certain number of friends? Or do you have email ad?
Yes.
Have you received such messages also?
Yes.
Okay, so I have here now a situation, similar situation. I'd like you to read this quietly, okay? And then you're going to try to explain to me what the situation is all about. Jonas.
For me, the residents of that barangay will receive a text message coming from a source, and then that source will no longer be able to receive another text message of the same group. So we are asked to find how many people on a Friday did they receive the message.
How many of the residents would have heard the news on the Friday? Okay, so you understood the problem?
Yes.
Okay, I would like you to work in pairs. So Baby Lindon and Michelle, Stephanie, Mary, and Jerick will work together. I'm going to give you, say, graphing paper if you like to use them. So think of various ways on how we can solve the problem. Okay? So I'll give you probably 5 minutes to do it. You have your paper with you. I can distribute to you graphing papers if you need one. Okay, I think you are ready to share your solution with your classmates. Jamie?
So, my partner and I made use of a tree diagram to solve the problem. So, here it goes. On the first day, the barangay captain received a news. On the next day, he told it to 3 other residents. So, this is for Monday, and this is for Tuesday. So, by Wednesday, each of these 3 residents told the news to another 3 residents. Then on Thursday, the resident who heard about the news told the news to another 3 residents. So on Friday, all the residents who have heard about the news told it to another 3 residents. So based on the diagram, the total number of residents who have heard about the news for the first time on Friday is 81.
Okay, very good. Who among you did the same thing? How about your group? Did you try? How about your group?
Yes.
Yes, you did. Did you come up with the same number of residents?
Yes.
So you have 81. Okay, is there another way that you'd like to share how we can solve the problem? How about John? Okay.
For convenience, we use the table to show the number of days and the number of the receiver on a specific day.
Okay.
On Monday, only the chairman received the news about the typhoon. The next day, the chairman shared the news to 3 residents. And on the next day, these 3 residents shared the news to other 3 residents. And on the Thursday, each of the 9 residents shared the news to the other 3 residents. And if these 27 receivers will share or relay this news to the other 3 residents on Friday, there will be 81 residents.
Okay, so you got the same answer, right? Okay, let's compare what you did with what JV did. Who did also this one? This solution here? All pairs? Okay. Most of you did also the tabular form in solving the problem. Okay, let's try to relate these two solutions. Okay? So on a Monday, you have one receiver, and that receiver is, of course, the barangay captain. This is your 1. Okay? How about on a Tuesday? So if you look at your tree diagram, you have 1, 2, 3. Okay? That corresponds now to the 3 here in the table. And so on. So you have 9. So here for Wednesday you have 9. Okay, so for Monday you have 1. And then Tuesday you have 3. And then for Wednesday you have 9. Okay, how about on Thursday? So it's quite difficult to count in this way, right? So for Thursday, where are those residents? The 27 in the table. So you have to consider this part here. Okay, so those are your 27 residents. And finally, on that Friday, you have your 81 residents. Okay, so you consider all of this. Which one do you think is easier to use to solve the problem? What did? The table. Are you sure? How about the tree diagram?
It's somehow...
Jonas.
Ma'am, in the tree diagram, it's somehow very time-consuming.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of effort for us to draw the dots. Unlike in a table, if there is a pattern that is being considered, it will be easier for us to know the right answer.
Okay. So, because if you extend this to a Sunday, what do you think will happen to your tree diagram? Okay, so you have so many dots there, okay, outside of the board already. So, let's try to look at the table. Okay, here. So, actually, when you say receiver, this is the number of what? Number of residents who have heard the news on that particular day. Okay? Now, let's consider another column for this table. And let us express the numbers there in powers. What have you noticed here? Jotan said that to get the number of residents, you simply multiply the preceding entry by 3. Right? So, for example, if this is 3, just multiply this to get your 9. Why can you do that? Okay, Jordan?
The reason is that, according to the problem, each of these residents had spread the news to 3 more residents.
Okay.
That's why you can multiply it by 3.
Okay, very good. Okay, so similarly, we have here now 9 times 3 will give you your 27, and then if you multiply 27 by 3, you get 81. Okay. Now, suppose you have the nth. There's another part of the problem. It says, how about on the nth day? What will happen now? Can you see a pattern? Supposing it's on the nth day. So, how many residents do you think would have heard the news on that day? Yes, Samantha?
It would depend on the value of n.
Okay, it will depend on the value of n. Now, suppose we have the power form. So how do you write? You said 3, right? So this is actually what? This is 3, 1 times 3. Okay? Which can be written as what? 3 to the 1. And then how about this? What is 9? So this is 3 times 3. So this will give us 3 squared, and so on. Okay, so you have 3 times 3 times 3. That will give you 3 cubed. how about this one here? You have now 3 to the 4th. So based on this, can you see a pattern? So this is day 0, this is day 1, day 2, day 3, and then you have day 4. Okay, so try to look at the entries in the table. What do you observe? Yes, Mary Grace?
The number of the receiver is equals to the 3 raised to the number of days.
The number of days?
3 raised to the number of days.
So if you consider this Tuesday as the first day, so you have here 3 to the 1. Can you see it? 2, and then you have your square, 3, and then 3, so you have 4 and 4. So therefore, can we determine the number of residents who have heard the news on the nth day? If you see the pattern, how many people would have received the news on the nth day? Farilyn?
The number of residents that will receive the news on the nth day is 3 raised to n.
Okay, 3 raised to the n. But look at the first entry here. How can we express that for Monday? Okay, Mary Joy?
3 raised to 0.
Why 3 raised to 0?
A number with an exponent of 0 is equals to
Except if the base is 0, okay? Other than 0, so you have here now 3 to the 0, which is also equal to 1. So you can see the pattern here. So you can also determine now the number of residents who have heard the news on the nth day by looking at the pattern here. Okay? Any questions so far? Now, there is another way wherein we can represent this, okay, visually. Who would like to come in front and try to graph, okay, the entries we have here on the table? Samantha?